Hi, how are you doing? This video was not planned. I didn't have any intentions of making this video, and I have to kind of rush this video. So if there's no editing, there's no music, there's no nothing, it's guaranteed to the fact that I literally just had to get this done right now because I'm on a planned schedule of uploads, and this video was not intended at all. But why am I making this video? Well, because I'm fucking frustrated, that's why. I'm very upset about something at the moment, and I need to just get it off my chest. It's all about Five Nights at Freddy's. Specifically how I'm witnessing one of my favorite franchises in horror. Not my favorite. Oh no, it's long past my favorite horror game franchise specifically, but seeing it get massacred before my eyes. Now, I know we can't always get what we want, we can't always get the way that we want it to be, but at the same time, I can't help but kind of wish that at least it could die in a way that's reasonable. You know, at least this franchise can end on a high, on a good note, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And it's very contrasting. I'm very contrasting right now to the video of Five Nights at Freddy's that you're going to see on August 8th, which is like, I don't know how long it is from now. It's like a week or something, a week and a half. Shit. It's hot in here. Don't mind all that. I'm not editing, so you're gonna have to deal with all the breaks, pauses, the looking around and shit, just kind of sitting here doing nothing. I don't know how to describe my frustrations right now. My frustrations go to Ruin, and my frustrations go to the PG-13 fucking rating for Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Let's start with Ruin, because that's the most recent thing to talk about, right? Ruin DLC. So, we got the Mimic. If you don't know the Mimic by now, I don't want to say you're living under a rock, because the game has been out, like, the DLC's been out for only, like, 3 days, but at the same time, it's everywhere. Like, you can't go without seeing the Mimic at all. But the Mimic is the whole point of this video, so I have to literally talk about it, because the Mimic is so stupid. It's so idiotic of how it's booked and the purpose of the Mimic. The whole purpose. The Mimic is supposed to be built as the new big threat. This new menace, this new unstoppable force, this new villain, antagonist that is going to be the main focus of Five Nights at Freddy's going forward. But there's problems with that. One problem, of course, being that, Scott, you never let go of the old timeline. You held on to the old timeline until you finally made up your mind, which was stupid. Very stupid, especially given the fact that you held back on the FNAF movie for the purpose of getting a good movie, good storytelling. And given the fact that I'm pretty good at what I do in terms of storytelling, I think it's pretty best for me to talk about this field. Scott, when you hold on to the old timeline and not establish that this help wanted, special delivery, security breach story is a completely new story in the universe, it makes it hard for fans or for people to just stick onto it. Especially given the fact when we don't know what the fuck is going on. I still don't know the original timeline, and apparently that's been done for now. That's been done and finished, but we still don't know shit about it. Scott, when are you going to start giving answers? I'm sick and tired of playing this cat and mouse game and trying to figure out what's the FNAF lore. Yeah, that time has passed me. I'm starting to look for answers. We are way past the point of playing cat and mouse. I'm here for answers, Scott. I'm here for finality. I'm here for an ending. I'm here for conclusions. Because I'm sick and tired of playing this game. Not like Five Nights. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of playing this game, literally. Just Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. What was I talking about? We got FNAF, security breach. I already talked about how frustrating that game is in and of itself. And to give credit where credit's due, right? Ruin DLC is a step up from the main game. It's not as buggy, it's not as glitchy, it's got a new cool concept, and it's got some more horror. Not scary, because the threats are barely treated like threats. You don't even get to really encounter the threats. The threats are just kind of there sometimes. Like, it's so easy to play that game. It's literally like, as Markiplier said it recently, is for babies. And that's going to be a topic that I'm going to discuss soon with the movie. But when it comes to the storytelling here, because we don't know the story of anything going on, if you were a new fan and you just played Security Breach for the first time, you got to the Ruin DLC, you're going to look at this Mimic character debuting. You're going to be like, who the fuck is this? And then you're going to see how the Mimic is really treated. Because for those who are hardcore fans, you already knew the Mimic was being built up in this fucking shitty-ass books anthology that's for some reason so poorly written, and it's just written just to get money. It's really stupid. I don't even know why they don't put effort into that. Why they don't tell... There's so many stories you can tell with those books. You can tell stories about all the fucking animatronics, their backstories, any kind of story you want regarding the main fucking animatronics that you have in your games. But no, you decide to tell these fucking ridiculous, dumbass, cliche, generic horror stories that is supposedly made for kids. It definitely feels like I'm reading it from a fucking child because how stupid it sounds. But it goes so gruesome and graphic that it's like, is this actually for kids? And that makes me question something else about the movie. But like I said, I'm going to hold off for now because I want to focus on this Mimic bitch. When you're running from the Mimic, this is literally the encounter. You encounter the Mimic. Oh my god, it's a new villain, a new antagonist. You run down, right, get to the elevator, and then that's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. So, wait, you introduce this new villain. It's like, okay, this is going to be the new villain of the next game. Why? Why not give us, like, something here? Like, why not give us, like, something special about the Mimic here? Especially given the fact that you built this up to introduce the Mimic, but we technically already met the Mimic with the Burn Trap ending. Which makes me wonder, what the fuck is the point of the whole Ruin DLC? What was the point of the Ruin DLC other than introduce the Mimic in the game? And introduce this VR AR world? Literally, it was just a tour of wasted time. It was a tour of wasted time. It was just showing you of, man, this is what Security Breach could have been. Imagine all this scary shit. Imagine how the animatronics look. Imagine the Mimic being the main villain. Could you imagine a main villain in Five Nights at Freddy's that's legitimate, that's not named Afton? I couldn't believe that, because every single fucking time Scott tries, he fucks it up. Circus Baby, Vanessa, now the Mimic. And guess what? You know what the funny thing is? They're all three of those characters are the exact fucking same, technically. On a technical basis, they are literally built and designed to be almost the identical same character. Circus Baby, Vanessa. Vanessa looks just like Elizabeth Afton. She's designed to be like a follower of Afton, just like Circus Baby is in the books. Then you have the Mimic, who literally looks like Circus Baby, who literally copies like what Circus Baby does, and is literally copying Afton. And then to add insult to injury, the other ending has the Mimic dress up in this very stupid mascot costume. Like, I say it's stupid because compared to all the other characters and all the other costumes, what the fuck is the Mimic wearing? This shitty-ass outfit? Fredbear and Spring Bonnie didn't look that fucking stupid. So I don't know why you have to have this stupid-ass eyeball reason fucking lion running around. And then, to top it off, you press a button, and a fucking claw comes down and fucking yanks the Mimic and destroys it. Which begs the question, why the fuck did no one do that before? You're trying to build this character as a threat? All you've been building this character as is a joke. Motherfucker, you could have been killed the Mimic. You could have been destroyed this fucking robot, tossed him around with a fucking claw. But you decided to do this as a joke. It's the same thing with the Burn Trap. It's like, I get it's supposed to be a joke. But when you're building this character for the first time, this is the character's debut. And you fucking ruined them in their debut. And fucking tossed them aside. It's almost like you did the exact same thing in the main game itself with Vanessa, Vanny, who was supposed to be the main villain, and then you tossed her aside for a Burn Trap, because Afton's back. Oh, wait a minute, they don't like Afton? Okay, it's this new character, the Mimic. So we're going to focus on the Mimic. Just kidding, we're gonna kill him off so easily, which begs the question why no one did that. It begs the question, why didn't you fucking send Monty down there to fucking destroy the Mimic if the Mimic was that big of a fucking problem? Monty literally fucking ripped apart Bonnie. That was established, that was literally told in this game, in this DLC, with no really clear answers as to why he did it. And then, for some reason, you don't have Monty go down and fight the Mimic. Roxy stood off the Mimic at her weakest state. So you're telling me a full, healthy Monty wouldn't body this motherfucker? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's just ridiculous. Do they think? Scott, are you thinking when you're telling the story at this point? Because sometimes it feels like you know what you're doing, but at the same time, it feels like you have no fucking clue and you're just throwing darts. You're throwing darts. And then, is there anything else to say, really? Like, Security Breach is supposed to be scary, but I can't stand the cartoon look because you babyfied Security Breach for this new, younger audience to appeal to the new, younger audience. But the problem with the whole new, younger audience appeal is that it rips away what made FNAF to begin with. It rips away what made those kids literally draw to FNAF to begin with. The kids didn't go to FNAF because it was funny, meme, goofy. They went to FNAF because it was scary. That's why the whole point of FNAF taking off in popularity was because everyone was playing it. It was this cool new thing, and the kids just made their own fun little aftermath. It's literally ironic because the story of FNAF is literally this, but told in-game. It's literally the adults find it uncanny and creepy, while the kids don't see that. They see them as fun, lovable animal characters, and they mess around, have fun with them, do all this crazy shit. But when you actually dumb yourself down to that level, it takes away the whole point of what makes the franchise. At that point, you just have the fucking, what the kids made. You have the fun little cute animals, and nothing else. There's nothing creepy, there's nothing scary about FNAF. And that's the problem that we're gonna fucking have with the movie. Because you baby down for a PG-13 fucking rating for no fucking reason. I don't know why businesses are stupid enough to think that, oh, because kids are getting drawn to the movie, let's fucking make it so that it's even more pathetic than it would have been if it was rated R, so that we could get ticket sales. That's not how that works, idiot! The parents are the fucking ones who take the kids. You think the parents are gonna want to see this shit? You think the parents go to fucking shitty-ass cartoon movies just because their kid goes, hee 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 hee? No! If the parent sees this shit, like, man, I am about to sit through an hour and a half in a movie theater just to watch this bullshit. I don't understand that decision making. And it takes away, and the biggest problem of it all is the fact that you strip away all the possibilities that could have been if it was rated R. And this is the biggest problem I have with PG-13 horror movies, is that with a PG-13 horror movie, you literally strip away what can be. So many things of what can be. Listen, I don't count Jaws, because for some reason, some idiot said Jaws was PG when it was actually fucking rated R. I don't know who the fuck the idiot was who did that at the time, but regardless of the fact, when I see a PG-13 movie, I'm always thinking in the back of my head, man, could you imagine what this shit would have been like if it was rated R? Insidious, The Ring, what the fuck is it? Happy Death Day, all those shits, they don't scare me. None of that scares me, none of that gets under my skin, because all I'm thinking is, man, could you imagine what could have been if it was rated R and they went all the way with whatever ideas they had? That's what we're gonna fucking get with FNAF. We're literally, all we want to see is kids getting murdered and Afton getting springlocked. That's brutal honesty right there. That's all we want to see. That's all we want to see. That's not what we're getting. That's not what we're getting. I don't believe that's what we're getting. We're going to get off-screen kills. Somebody dying in a back room. You hear the scream. Ah! You see the body dress. Shh! But you don't see the blood. You don't see the gore. You don't see the death. You see silhouettes and stuff. Ah! Look at the silhouette. Scary. Ooh. But you don't get to see like the actual threat. You don't, because you. That's the point. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that with that rating, you take away the threat. Because now, what's the threat? What's the threat? All I'm seeing is just like, oh, somebody got picked off in the back room. It's not that scary. You don't build it up. You're supposed to build it up. When you can't build it up, movie-wise, when you're supposed to... Like, it's different from a game, Scott. With a video game, you can do the whole backstory, like, in the hidden secrets and stuff, because, like, oh, what could have happened in the game? And then because you're actually playing it. You're actually immersed in the story. You are the character. When you're watching a movie, you are not the character. You are watching somebody else on a third-person perspective, and if that character, and if they're trying to do this whole hidden shit, it's not gonna work. That's not how it works. Why do you think novels and adaptations with books and shit, why do you think sometimes they have to change shit for the movies? It's not because the book, they don't like the book. It's because some things that are written on paper just don't work on screen. And you gotta understand that, Scott. I know you don't really, like, do the storytelling and all that. You more so focus on video game making. But this is what's getting me frustrated, right? Is because now I don't know. What I expected from FNAF movie was you going all the way, because you've shown me you could go all the way, Scott. You literally have kids getting fucking torn to pieces in your books. So seeing that on screen, I don't have a doubt in my mind you wouldn't do that, right? I saw that you have a strong language warning in your movie, which means that you're gonna have Mike yelling out some shit and fucks. And I already know that's gonna piss off some kitty fan base of FNAF. It's gonna be like, oh, he cursed these FNAF. They don't curse at FNAF. Shut the fuck up, little kid, bitch. With FNAF, like, just because FNAF is not told in a brutal, bloody fashion doesn't take away the fact that the story is literally death and murder. Is literally designed about death and murder. I've seen some people go at other people who make videos making dark stories of FNAF of kids getting torn apart on screen and saying, like, they're going overboard. FNAF wouldn't do that. What the fuck you mean? Have you read any of the fucking shitty ass books? Are you kidding me? Scott would literally do that in a heartbeat if given the chance. And now he's been given the chance, but he's not doing it. You know why? Because fucking idiotic studio production bullshit think that they fucking PG-13 fucking movie is gonna sell tickets when it's not. And it really sucks, because I know that I would have, literally in the next FNAF video, which is the movie predictions, whatever the fuck, I'm stumbling over words. The movie predictions video, you're going to see me so happy, telling you about all these possibilities and predictions of what the FNAF trilogy as a whole could be like. How this could be the greatest FNAF story out of anything Five Nights at Freddy's has told. And I'm literally so excited with all the possibilities of all the gruesome things that they could do in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie trilogy. We're not getting that. We're not getting that. And if we are getting that, it's not going to be theater-wide. It's not going to be the main audience. It's not what we're going to see. It's going to be the unrated cut, a.k.a. the cut that you have to go buy. You have to go get it on your own, because it's not for theater purpose. I want to sit in a theater and I want to see fucking people die. Bloody. Yeah. I sound like a little spoiled brat right now. I know. Sound like a little child, running around. Fucking like, I want this, I want that. That's not what I'm going to get. One last thing before I go, because by the end of this year, I'm done with FNAF. Like, I know people say stuff like that. I know I've said something like that before with something else, but I mean it. I legit mean it, because there's nothing else. There's nothing else to gain from Five Nights at Freddy's other than Help Wanted 2, which is a VR game, which is cool. I like VR. And the movies, which I'm still going to watch, because it's the fucking movies. I want to see what a fucking FNAF movie by Scott himself would be like before I go starting to make my own fucking FNAF scripts, right? Oh, the Mimic. One last thing about the Mimic, which I joked about in a community post. Can't they just pour water on the Mimic? Just, like, get a bucket of water, just... Like, you literally showcased Monty getting fucking haywired by water, and that's literally how he gets deactivated for good. Why can't you do that with the Mimic? The Mimic is not possessed by any spirits. The whole reason why you couldn't do that to animatronics in the past was because they were possessed. It didn't matter if you poured water. They were coming back. It's filled with spirit. Mimic's not filled with any spirits. You could literally just pour water on it. You literally showed us the Mimic getting bodied by a claw. Why can't you just pour a bucket of water over the Mimic? The end. What? You really expect me to take the Mimic as a threat? That's ridiculous. The fact that there's people who think that the Mimic is a threat because they don't know, first off, they don't understand good storytelling. Second off, they don't understand the implications of how shitty the Mimic has been written. It's sad. It's sad that there's people who think that the Mimic is good. When the Mimic was bodied on its debut, was treated like a joke on its debut, that's 3 times. 3 times. 3 strikes, you're out. Circus Baby, Vanessa, Mimic. 3 strikes, you're out, Scott. I know it's not completely your fault either. I don't want to put it all on you, Scott, but you are one factor of many that leads to the fault. So yes, there is a part of it that is indeed your fault. Send the shit.